Lost both the payment and the goods. 5 deadly traps in collecting payment for foreign trade. The order is done. Don't be too happy yet. The biggest pitfall in foreign trade may be the step of how to collect the money. If you are not careful, you will lose both the goods and the money. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Foreign Trade Knowledge class. I am you. Today we are going to talk about how to collect money safely in foreign trade. Choosing the right payment method will ensure a stable business. First, let's talk about the safest way for sellers. Simple and direct. Pay first, then ship. Usually after the contract is signed, the buyer pays a part, such as 30% of the deposit first, and the seller produces. Before shipping, the buyer pays the balance 70%, and the seller releases the goods. Advantages: the seller has the least risk and less financial pressure. Disadvantages: the buyer is under the greatest pressure, and both parties need to have a very high degree of trust. The bank's credit is used as a guarantee. The L process is slightly more complicated, and the fees are also higher. The buyer issues a payment guarantee L or C through the bank, promising that as long as the seller delivers the goods on time, in quality and quantity, and all the documents submitted strictly comply with the L requirements, the bank will guarantee payment. Advantages: relatively fair and safe for both buyers and sellers, especially suitable for new customers and large orders. Disadvantages: the procedures are complicated, and the requirements for document review are extremely strict. A wrong word or punctuation may result in a rejection of payment. D or P documents against payment is an international trade payment method that requires the bank to collect documents and require the buyer to pay before the bill of lading. In this model, the bank acts as an intermediary to ensure that the seller can safely receive the payment after the goods are delivered, and also provides a certain amount of financial security for the buyer. Advantages: through documents against payment, the seller can ensure that the buyer pays the payment before handing over the documents. Disadvantages: sellers note: if the buyer delays picking up the goods, the seller needs to bear the port storage costs or the risk of goods deterioration. OA is the most generous and the most dangerous way. It is equivalent to the seller giving the buyer credit. Ship first, collect payment later. Agree on a payment period, for example 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, after the goods arrive. Advantages: most attractive to buyers, can greatly enhance competitiveness. Disadvantages: the seller has the highest risk, completely dependent on the buyer's credit. Strongly recommended. Only give to top old customers with many years of cooperation, good credit and good knowledge. The best tool for collecting money in the internet era. Third-party payment platform. Representative players: PayPal and Stripe. Core logic: buyer pays online, platform temporarily holds funds. Seller ships, platform lends money to seller, minus handling fees. Advantages: extremely fast payment. Partial payment can be made instantly. Wide global coverage, especially individual buyers in Europe and the United States. Good buyer experience. One-click payment support for credit cards. Fatal risks: a must-see for sellers. High chargeback disputes. Buyers can easily initiate disputes. Platforms often favor buyers, and sellers need to prove delivery themselves. Keep good evidence. High handling fees 3-5 plus painful for large orders. Account freezing risk. Abnormal transactions trigger risk control. Difficult to unblock. Finally, I would like to remind you of a few key points to avoid pitfalls. 1. Write the contract clearly. The payment method, ratio, time, currency, bank information, etc., should be written into the contract word by word. 2. L or C document review is very important. Find professionals to review the documents, and ensure that the documents are consistent with the letter of credit, and the documents are consistent Not a single letter can be wrong. For O ora or D ora, buying insurance can cover the bottom line. 3. Pay attention to the buyer's credit. New customers must do a credit investigation. Old customers should also pay attention to their business conditions regularly. 4. Consider exchange rate risks. For long-term orders and O or D or A, the risk of exchange rate fluctuations should be considered, and you can consider locking the exchange rate. 5. Make good use of export credit insurance. Today's foreign trade knowledge class is over. See you next time.